The Silver Rest Motel was a skeletal finger against the bruised sky. Wind howled through its broken windows. Snow piled up on the cracked asphalt, burying the past. It stood forgotten, nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains. Locals whispered of its darkness. They spoke of a haunting presence. The Silver Rest had been abandoned years ago. No one dared to stay there. Not anymore. The storm raged. 4 friends huddled inside their car. Mark, the driver, gripped the steering wheel. His knuckles were white. Beside him sat Sarah, her face pale with worry. In the back, Chris and Emily whispered anxiously. They were lost on their way to a ski trip. The snow had blinded the road. Then through the swirling flakes, they saw it. A faint flickering neon sign. Silver Rest Motel.
We don't have a choice,
Mark said, his voice tight. They had to get off the road. They drove towards the motel, ignoring the prickling fear in their hearts. The motel was deathly quiet. The air hung heavy and cold. Mark managed to force open the front door. It creaked like a scream. Inside, cobwebs draped the lobby like macabre decorations. Dust lay thick on the floor. The smell of decay filled their lungs.
Hello?
Sarah called out, her voice echoing in the silence. Only the wind answered, whistling through the broken windows. They chose rooms, each one as desolate and unsettling as the last. As darkness fell, the temperature dropped. Strange sounds began. Footsteps echoed down empty corridors. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls. Chris found himself drawn to room 13. He couldn't explain the pull. The door was slightly ajar. A chill breeze seemed to emanate from it. He pushed it open, his heart pounding. The room was ice cold, the air thick with the stench of mildew and something else, something metallic and foul. He noticed it first on the floor, a dark stain that extended under the bed, almost hidden in the shadows. It looked like blood. Panic welled up in his throat. He knew they shouldn't be here. This place had a darkness that felt ancient, malevolent.
We shouldn't be here. This place, it feels ancient, malevolent.
Emily woke with a gasp. A cold sweat clung to her skin. The wind howled outside, but it wasn't the wind that had woken her. There was something else, a presence. She could feel it watching her. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end. Then she saw it. A face at the window. Pale, gaunt, with eyes burning with an unnatural light. She screamed, scrambling back against the headboard. The face vanished, but the feeling of dread remained, clinging to her like a shroud.
They gathered in the lobby, their faces pale with fear.
We have to leave this place. It's not right.
But when they tried the front door, they found it wouldn't budge. It was jammed, locked tight. Panic rose in their chests. The storm raged outside, sealing them in with whatever lurked within the motel walls. They were trapped. Desperate, Mark began searching for another way out. He ripped open a drawer in the old reception desk. Inside he found a leather-bound journal. Its pages were brittle with age, the ink faded and smudged with what looked like blood. He began to read.
The words were a chilling account of the motel's former owner, a man driven mad by grief who had taken his own life in room 13. The journal spoke of other disappearances, of guests who checked in but never checked out, their fates unknown.
Mark's blood ran cold. The stories were written in a frantic, desperate hand. The handwriting matched the message scrawled on the final page. Beware the ghost. He claims all who enter. Armed with the terrifying knowledge from the journal, they searched for another escape. Every door was locked, every window nailed shut. The storm raged on, mocking their plight. The ghostly presence grew stronger. Cold spots followed them. Whispers taunted them.
The face appeared again and again in the windows, each time closer, more menacing.
They were running out of time.
The ghost of Silver Rest was closing in.
Dawn broke over a silent landscape. The storm had passed, leaving a blanket of fresh snow. The only sign of life was a lone car parked outside the Silver Rest Motel. Inside, the rooms were empty. The friends were gone. All that remained were their belongings, scattered and forgotten. The wind howled through the broken windows, carrying with it the secrets of the Silver Rest Motel. The ghost had claimed 4 more souls. Their laughter, once echoing through the halls, was now just another whisper in the wind. The Silver Rest stood alone once more, a chilling monument to those who dared to spend the night.